Thanks Sheriff Brown and law enforcement for the closures that we talked. We are going to have a lot of equipment in there. We have to move fast. The Corps of Engineers will be working 24 hours a day. There'll be multiple dump trucks running throughout the area. And the faster we can get this work done, the faster we can get things opened up and be prepared for more rain. I think that's all I have for right now.
Thank you, Tom. I'd like to introduce Suzanne Grimacy. She's with the Santa Barbara County Family Assistance Center.
Good afternoon. The Family Assistance Center continues to welcome individuals and families who are seeking information on the location of loved ones impacted by the storm. Counseling staff are continuing to provide follow-up support to those having received the shattering news of the death of family members, in some cases, multiple family members. The center is open until 8 p.m. tonight and will be open through 8 p.m. tomorrow night. People can also call the center at a toll-free number, 833-688-5551. With the information being released on deaths and suspected deaths and the increase in those missing, there has been more and more dialogue within the schools and among parents about how to talk to children and how we take care of ourselves. The emotional impact of this event can expect to last for a long time. Adults and children who have been exposed to prolonged stress and tremendous loss. Children have witnessed confident parents and caregivers experiencing extreme anxiety and fear. Children and adults have experienced the horror of seeing severely injured people and bodies, either in person or through the television. Emotional exhaustion and physical wear and tear is present throughout our community, from those directly impacted to our first responders and others still trying to make sense of what is happening in our community. Parents, caregivers, spend time with and talk to your children. Maintain routines. Limit media exposure. Answer questions briefly and honestly, and ask children for their thoughts and ideas about what is happening. This connection helps children to feel safe and calm. And for everyone, continue to take care of yourself. Take good physical care, eat well, sleep well as best you can, get exercise, talk to, listen to, and take care of each other. 211 remains available for the community to call for information, as well as the storm information line at 805-681-5542. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'd like to introduce Nick Turner. He's with the Montecito Water District.
Good afternoon. It's been a challenging but productive day for the Montecito Water District. The Cachuma Operations and Maintenance Board has confirmed that the South Coast Conduit is intact, which is the district's main artery for getting water from Lake Cachuma to Montecito. The South Coast Conduit is currently holding pressure and is conveying water to Ortega Reservoir, and this is great news for us. Water service throughout the district is limited. Generally, water is available at low pressure below East Valley Road. Other areas have no water at all. Having said that, the boil water notice remains in effect for the entire district. With the help of the county, which has been clearing roads, we are gaining access to more of our water system, but some portions remain inaccessible at this time. We have many water main breaks and missing fire hydrants that were seared off by debris flows. We have completed our assessment of our high line, transmission main, and have found additional breaks. We have crews dedicated to each main break in an effort to make the repairs as quickly as possible. With the support of City of Santa Barbara staff, we are turning off water meters to damaged properties to prevent additional water loss and to prevent water from hampering the cleanup effort. We have crews replacing the missing fire hydrants. Once we complete the repairs and the system can hold pressure, we will begin to bring the system back online. Although this progress is being made, it still remains uncertain as to when water service will be fully restored to the community. I know this is a stressful time for all of us, but we are receiving a tremendous amount of support from our neighboring public agencies and local contractors. We ask for the community's patience. We are working hard to reestablish water service to the area, but this will take time. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. I'd like to introduce Vondo Reynoso. She's the director of the Santa Barbara County Public Health Department.
Effective immediately, the Santa Barbara County Health Officer has closed all county beach ocean waters from Gaviota south to the county line for people to enter the water, and we make this decision based upon our results that the levels of bacteria highly exceed standard levels. So this order includes the following beaches: Gaviota, Refugio, El Capitan, Sands at Coal Oil Point, Goleta State Beach, Hope Ranch, Arroyo Burro, Leadbetter, East Beach at Mission, East Beach at Sycamore, Butterfly, Hammonds, Summerlin, and Carpinteria State Beach. So all ocean water should be considered as contaminated until further notice. We are conducting further testing, and we plan to test again on Friday. Additionally, we know we have reports from the California Office of Emergency Services that there are hazardous materials washing up on the beaches. And so we urge the public not to pick up fruit, debris, or chemical containers such as gas cans, propane canisters, or pesticides found on the beach or in the water due to possible sewage contamination or chemical contaminants. The public can report fuel containers, pesticides, and other containers by calling 805-681-5538. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll open it up to questions now.
What criteria are you using to determine who's missing, the number of missing? How do you account for the wide swing in the severity?
So the question was the criteria to determine how many and who was missing. Sheriff Brown.
Thank you. The number that I gave you, 43, was an inclusive number that includes those who we have active missing person case files, investigations going on, and it also includes a number of other reportings from people who have called either the Emergency Operations Center or the Family Assistance Center and have indicated that they have not been able to get in contact with someone, or there's a belief that they may be missing. So they range from people that are considered to be actively missing to people have just not been able to get into contact with. We are in the process of collating all of that information, checking addresses where people lived, their proximity to other areas where we know that we have had people who are actually sustained became fatal casualties as a result of it. We're also looking at people, who may have left the area and there may be a peripheral relationship to them, but they're not necessarily a close family or a neighbor, but they just haven't been able to get in touch with them. So we have detectives who are taking this information and correlating it and constantly refining it and assessing it. And it varied widely in terms of the numbers. And at this point, as I said, the latest information that I had was that we had 43 names, and that can continue to fluctuate. To give you an example, we had yesterday when we reported that we had 17 missing persons. Those were 17 people who we had active missing person reports and investigations on. And a number of those were actually cleared as a result of the identification of some of those people who were on that list that were killed in this incident. So again, I know it sounds like it's a constantly moving number. There hasn't been a sound definition of what constitutes a missing person, and we really don't want to put one on there. We want people to report to us if they think someone's missing, and we want to get all the information that we can that can assist us and that can also assist search and rescue crews as they go out into that area and as they start to do they're winding up really their preliminary assessments. They're going to be now doing secondary and triple assessments of locations of structures in the area. And we want them to have this information as well so that they can really determine whether or not someone's either in a wrecked home or in proximity to it.
Is it safe to assume that there will not be 43 additional casualties now?
Well, we certainly hope there are going to be far fewer than that. We hope there's not going to be any more, but realistically, we suspect that we are going to continue to have discovery of people who were killed in this incident. But I just can't answer that in terms of the numbers. We've certainly, the experience that we've had has shown that all of those people who are reported by whatever methodology as missing, they have not all been missing. In fact, every day we've had the ability to determine that people are in fact either safe or they moved out of the area, they were in the hospital or treated for an injury, those types of things. Okay.
How close are you to shifting from rescue to recovery?
Well, the incident command has determined that I think the goal was to try to get all of the preliminary assessments of all structures done by today. And I'm not sure if that's completed or if it will be done early tomorrow. Then the process is that we begin a secondary search of those locations. And we're going to continue in that mode, looking at those structures a second time to determine if there's any possibility that someone could still be alive. And, in disaster circumstances, there have been, many miraculous stories of people lasting many days. And we certainly are searching for a miracle right now.
I had a question about the evacuation areas. The new mandatory area, does that include areas that previously were voluntary?
Yes, it does. The question is, does the new mandatory evacuation area include areas previously in the voluntary area? And it absolutely does. It's primarily consists of that. In other words, and what I didn't do is I didn't give you, I know that the media has the boundaries already and has reported this, but I'll just give this information out again, that you can roughly figure what this area is by the boundaries being the ocean to the south, by Hot Springs Road to the west, by the U.S. forest to the north, so anything above the structures that are up above that area. And then on the east, it's a little more complicated. It is Ortega Ridge going up to, or going down, I guess, to East Valley Road, and then Ladera branching off from that. So it's Ladera and Ortega as they run into East Valley. And those are the approximate boundaries of this particular area. And we'll be, as I say, putting that into effect at 6 o'clock tonight. We want to give at least some notice to people so that they can do that. But if you're in that area, again, we ask that you please evacuate that area as soon as possible.
Are you able to provide an update on the forward sisters?
Well, I don't think we're providing any update on any specific individuals this time. Any other questions?
You said there was an active dramatic rescue today. Can you talk about what happened there?
I can't talk about any specific rescues. I don't believe anybody in the panel here can. There was some rescues. I don't know the specifics. The question is how many Army Corps of Engineers are going to be in place?
So at this time, the Army Corps of Engineers, obviously they'll be moving staff in, but this work will be done by contract. Currently, 100-plus vehicles will be moving in. Once that work gets initiated, I expect that number to grow.
Okay, just a couple more questions.
Another preliminary assessment still going on, but can you give us a general sense of where the worst of the damage or if there's a concentration of the fatalities, Montecito by neighborhood or general boundaries yet?
No, I can answer that. And there's not one general area. It's spread out throughout the affected areas, and there's not one area that's worse than others. It's all pretty much. The entire area that's been affected is where we've had, both rescues and the fatalities. And one.
Are there other mandatory evacuation areas like the Whittier fire? When do you expect those to be lifted?
Sheriff, can you speak on the other evacuation areas?
All of the areas that are still in mandatory are being evaluated, and we hope to have some information tomorrow about some of the adjacent areas. But this really was the word. We're trying to get the word out that we're actually expanding in the direct Montecito area today. Yeah, the question was, there was an article today in the media that indicated that a text message did not go out until 3:50 something a.m., which was sort of in the midst of the downpour, the active period of time that the rain was really falling and this event was beginning. And I think it's a shame because it really takes away from the fact that there were extraordinary efforts made to warn our community about this problem. A team of experts consulted with our emergency managers in Santa Barbara County, and they predicted, as it turns out, very accurately that there was a very strong likelihood that there was going to be a major event that was going to take place. And as a result of that, there was a press conference that was held to get the warning out to the public. There were letters and notifications that went out, and a variety of different notifications through a variety of different electronic media as well. The system in question is the WIA system, which is the federal system, which is really to be used to actively notify someone of an active incident that's occurring, whether that's a fire, whether that's an active shooter, whether that's, in this case, a flood event. And it was activated at the appropriate time during when actually an event was occurring. But it's important to note that there were many warnings that were issued in advance of that particular warning as well. And I know there's always a tendency to want to look and to evaluate all of this as an incident is ongoing. But I would say to you that we are really looking forward at this point to try to manage this incident as well as possible. And there will be an appropriate time when everything will be assessed and we will take a look at what happened. But now is really not the appropriate time to do that. But I do want people to be assured that, and by the way, that article was amended today after it was issued. So just wanted to try to clarify that. The WIA system. No, it's a system. It came, the utilization of it came from the county, but it's a nationwide system. Okay.
Okay, that's going to conclude today's press conference. Tomorrow, 4 p.m., we'll meet same place for a press conference, same location, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you.